Maulana Rizvi, Dr. Shabir Ali Bhai, my elders, brothers and sisters, Salaam Alaikum. Thank you for attending this town hall meeting that we have called Seniors Dilemma. The dictionary defines dilemma as a situation with unsatisfactory choices. And I think that will become apparent as we dive through some of the things that prompted us to hold this town hall. We have three main objectives this afternoon. Number one, to start a conversation about how we as a community can prepare ourselves with the realities of aging when we cannot live independently in our own home. Number two, to seek your input and feedback in the form of a short survey that we can start planning, so that we can start planning the options. And number three, to request those of you who are able, willing, and passionate on what we discussed today to help us in where we want to go. At the end of this session this afternoon, we will not have any solutions. Let me be absolutely clear right at the front. But inshallah, we will learn a great deal and then start on immediate short-term solutions while we plan for the longer options. My name is Shaukat Moloo, and I will be the facilitator this afternoon. The session is planned for approximately 1.5 hours, and we hope to finish by around 4 p.m. The program will include short presentations by our two distinguished speakers, Maulana Sayyid Muhammad Rizvi and Dr. Shabir Ali Bhai. They will examine two unique and different issues, very relevant to the subject of aging, that will leave us with some food for thought. We are grateful to our speakers to spend some time with us and share their perspectives. But first, let me set the stage by giving you some background about the Community Care Home Group, who we are, how we came together, and why we came together, and what are we trying to do. The Community Care Home Group is an independent initiative of 12 members of the ISIJ community in Toronto. And how appropriate for an international community to have a group of 12. As you recall, various community members in the past have talked about the need to build a community facility for our aging communities over a number of years. There were some false starts. There were some people who had ardently tried to get it going, but obviously for whatever reason, it did not take off. So we hope that this initiative will provide some impetus and we will be able to take off from here over the short term as well as the long term. This time, this is how we came about. Dr. Shiraz Datu initiated the group and selected us to volunteer on it. So here we are. So the main purpose of this group is to proactively understand and start looking for options on where and how our seniors are going to live when they are old or infirm or lonely, so that they age in dignity within our religious, social, language, and cultural setting. Our group is composed of people with diverse backgrounds. Some currently look after their own aging parents. We have two physicians who have seniors as their patients, two female members who have first-hand experience in senior care, and others who have direct experience in healthcare, social housing, facility acquisitions, or have in the past operated home for seniors. The group is not affiliated with ISIJ, but ISIJ Executive has supported our initiative with moral and in-kind support. They allowed us, for example, to use JCC meeting rooms to hold our meetings. They have allowed us this wonderful facility of Mark this afternoon, organized ISIJ volunteers to help out today, provided us logistical and advertising support for this event, and is sponsoring the cost of refreshments at the end of this session. We are grateful to them. The Jamaat Vice President, Brother Muhammad Arif Jagani, is in our group's WhatsApp and has been keenly following our discussions. Let me tell you who are the 12 members of the group in no particular order. Please make a mental note of these names, as there are people you may want to reach out to or to talk to if you are interested in helping us in our research or just taking on some admin tasks. They are Dr. Shiraz Datu, Brother Murtaza Amarshi, Dr. Naushad Nurani, Sister Zainab Sherali, Dr. Shabir Kanji, Sister Husna Hasnali, Brother Hasnain Daudani, Brother Samir Wali Muhammad, Brother Qasim Moledina, Brother Nazmul Danji, Brother Mahdi Sherali, and myself. Now, this group, when we got together, we brainstormed and we identified 6 challenges, but there might be some more that we will learn from today's session that we face as a community that has got folks who are aging, and we are frankly next in line. Let me quickly share with you these challenges. Our community's population, like the emerging Canadian demographic, is aging. And as you know, aging does not require any effort. It just happens. Statistics Canada's 2016 census figures tell us there are now more seniors than children who are 14 and under. And did you know the York region has one of the fastest growing older adult population among urban municipalities in Ontario? And that trend will likely continue. It is expected the older population will grow by 148%, or approximately 1.5 times, between 2011 and 2031. In Canada, in the next 13 years, nearly 1 in 4 Canadians will be over the age of 65. Our community will be part of the statistics. Yet, we have not woken up to that reality, regrettably. We cannot stand there on the highway like a mesmerized deer waiting to be run over by the coming truck. So here is the big question today. What we need to start doing now. Dr. Shabir Alibhai, I'm sure, will alert us to some of the issues that he has been seeing in his field of specialty that will provide us with a wake-up call. Challenge number 2. Our once independent seniors may soon not be able to cope living in their own homes without some basic assistance. They can rely on home support to an extent. When they cannot cope, they may decide not to move into the homes of their children and instead go to another, and there's a reason why they might decide not to move, because if they do so, they may unwittingly create additional challenges for their children who also have their own children to look after. But if they choose to move to any available aging facility, they might find they are lonely while adjusting to a new and alien lifestyle in their golden years. That experience can take a toll on their well-being. So that's challenge number 3. Some families have a belief that sending an elderly member of our family to a nursing home or assisted living facility is an abandonment of children's responsibility towards their parents. But here is a question to consider. Can we opt to pay for an accredited facility to look after our aging parents while we provide them love and emotional support that they need? Is there a practical and morally justifiable option? We have therefore invited Maulana Rizvi to help us explain these issues thoughtfully and define for us some broad principles to guide us within the context of the realities of living in this part of the world. Challenge number 4. As a community, we do not have a well-defined vision of caring for our aging population. We do not actively discuss the impact of aging on our community. For example, let's examine building a campus of care in all its forms: long-term care, assisted living, and independent living facilities. Within such a vision, we believe, our group believes, aging seniors can live in an Islamic environment, enjoying the cultural companionship of their own kind, share a language, enjoy their ethno-cultural halal food, and participate in socio-religious activities while enjoying other fun activities together. Challenge number 5. We have no idea what is the gap between how much will it cost to live in a senior facility and what is affordable for majority of our aging seniors who may be solely relying on their government pensions for support. What are the options to close that gap? And finally, challenge number 6, as a community, we do not fully understand the risks families take on when they look after their aging parents in their homes. There are now strict laws to protect seniors from abuse and neglect. Are those looking after aging parents aware of these laws, and are they really capable of complying with them? So, what our group did was, we talked about these challenges, and when they said, so what are some of the pieces of the puzzle we need to put together? So we start dealing with these challenges in some form. And when we started looking out there, we found a number of revealing things. Number 1, we are not aware of any Shia or non-Shia Muslim communities that have a purpose-built aging facility. Neither are there standalone community facilities for other South Asian communities. But not surprising, the Jewish, the Chinese, the Italian, the Greek communities, among others, have well-designed and well-managed facilities and get substantial government grants for supporting ethno-cultural living. We found out, and in fact visited, a standalone 12-bed ethnic home operated by a Sri Lankan entrepreneur along the Markham-Scarborough border. We are in touch with the owner, Victor, that if we decide to opt for that model in a short term for ourselves, he is prepared to guide us. We also found out about partnership models operated by the Ismaili community, working with selected long-term and assisted living facilities to place their seniors in facilities that brings members of the Ismaili community under one roof. Number 4, we need a core group of people who understand how the Ontario senior programs work in all its forms, to take advantage of existing processes and funding to help us build our capacity. For example, in November 2017, the federal government announced its intention to pump $40 billion through a 10-year national housing strategy. And now we understand, these are through our intelligence, the Ontario government will shortly announce its plan to use that first-year portion of the funding to add 5,000 new ethnic-based long-term care beds in the first phase of building 30,000 new beds over 10 years. I can tell you other communities are already working in drawing up plans to put in their proposal and tap into their funds. Where are we? But our group also believes we need to start with some short-term objectives to meet immediate living needs for our seniors, but target to have our own purpose-built facility over a longer term. In the short term, therefore, this might mean having arrangements with existing facilities in around our core population hubs that can provide dedicated assisted living and long-term care facility for our community members when they need it. We need to work closely with ISIJ leadership and others to champion long-term vision of a campus of care in the future planned Jaffrey City. Of course, the EC has many more urgent things on their plate, but I believe we can help them to move this particular priority forward. So now you know where we are. But to do all this, we need dedicated, skilled volunteers who have the passion to add value. It can be quite demanding at times, but it can be done. Every journey starts with the first step. But as I said earlier, we also need good baseline information about our community, about what are our needs, what we need to look for as we plan for the short-term options. So we humbly ask you for your help in completing a community survey questionnaire that the group has developed. It's not a long form, but it's very thoughtful, and you will find that by you providing us with that input, we'll be able to blend it with other things that we are thinking about. And now I will request Brother Hasnain Dawdani to explain the survey.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. I'm not going to take too much of your time. I'm just going to go through the survey itself. The survey is going to be deployed electronically via the Jamaat announcements in the next 2-3 days. You will get a link on the Jamaat announcements. You just click on the link, it will take you to the survey. Now, those who have smartphones and computers, I urge that you fill out the survey online, because it's easy for us to tabulate the results. Otherwise, I do have some paper copies available, about 50. So some people who do not have computers or smartphones, they can come and collect the paper copy from me and fill the survey out that way. We still have to input the data in online.